Today we're going to talk about something that's very near and dear to my heart, something I really truly do care about, and that's IceSpice and women rappers. I've followed IceSpice since her start, her debut with Munch, and I've followed her all the way up to here, to this point today, where we're looking down the barrel of, I think, Fat Butt. I think Fat Butt was probably one of her more recent songs that she's released. I was never always an IceSpice lover, and I was never always an IceSpice hater, and I was a little bit confusing, but I'd say when Munch dropped, I really didn't enjoy the song, and I was kind of a hater. I thought it was kind of just bad. I thought it sounded bad. Then you get to the point around Deli and Pink Panthress Era IceSpice, where I actually did become a fan, and I was actually starting to see her talent, and I thought she had some artistic integrity, and I thought she was, maybe like an up-and-coming artist that was actually going to stick around for a little bit of time. And then all of a sudden, after that point, I start defending IceSpice. Then there's the fat drop where you actually start learning about what kind of person IceSpice is outside of the, social media rap game. Honestly, we find out how talented she is, which is frankly not very. So I just want to make it clear that the perspective I have talking about IceSpice today is of a fallen fan. I never wanted to dislike her art. I really was hopeful that she would have something new to offer to the world of hip hop, especially as a young woman coming up in it. Especially because I consider myself a pretty big fan of people like Glorilla, Sexy Red I really like, and Tia Cream's one of my favorite rappers right now. I want to see women succeed in this space, and I was optimistic for IceSpice's talent to really show through over the year or two that she's been around at this point. But after a while, I've kind of lost all hope. I really have. I don't think IceSpice is a very talented person, and I think with her debut, I didn't really see the talent there. And then there were some glimpses of hope that have absolutely been destroyed in these past couple months. I'm just gonna go down the entire timeline. I'm gonna speak my honest truth, and I'm gonna talk about how I really felt about IceSpice in every current moment of her popularity, her growth, everything like that. We're just gonna go down the entire IceSpice history. We're gonna have an IceSpice history lesson for you guys today. And I will say, I know the title is a little bit harsh and mean, and I want to make it clear right now that I feel like a lot of female rappers get a lot of shit online just because they're women, and I don't want my video to come across as like something that coincides with that kind of energy. I really think that female rappers have an interesting perspective to offer to the game, As a ex-IceSpice fan, I've just been burned too many times where I really just can't deal with this person anymore. I have no hope. I think within this current year, they'll probably drop off forever and we'll almost never hear about them again. Very adjacent to like a YBN Namir kind of character. That's how I always kind of viewed IceSpice. You know what I mean? Like, they're gonna have their big break and then nothing's gonna happen after that. I made this little sheet that's gonna teach me how to make this video. I made this last night, a couple beers deep. So hopefully it's coherent enough for me to understand right now. We're gonna start off with Munch. Munch was IceSpice's debut song, and it's not like it was her first song she ever posted, because I remember she had a couple music videos that were already floating around online, but Munch is the first song that really got traction, which is also interesting because I remember looking into IceSpice at the time, at least from my perspective, it seemed like she only had 3 songs and one of them blew up. You know what I mean? It was a very quick come up. And it was very like 0 to 100. Like it was like no energy, like no eyes on you at all. Then all of a sudden Munch drops and it's like the #1 song on TikTok, And I remember when Munch dropped, I absolutely hated that song. I think Munch is a horrible song. It's just so bad. I'm gonna listen to it right now so I can articulate myself better. Now also, I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of drill to begin with. I'm not a big drill person. I don't even really mess with Chief Keef that much. I'm not a big drill head. I think it should honestly be strictly relegated to British people. Just keep it overseas. We don't need it here in America. But I thought it was interesting that IceSpice was bringing drill to this Western land. You know what I mean? Especially for younger women. I feel like she was like kind of a unique sound at the time, at least when she dropped, even if I didn't like Munch that much. I will listen to Munch right now though, just to see where we're at. Because I don't remember what that song sounds like at all. Yeah, okay, so to be honest, something I really like out of my hip hop is a little bit of like a good vocalist and maybe an interesting instrumental, and I don't think that song has either of those things. So probably not for me. I wasn't ready to write off IceSpice at the time. I just didn't like the song. You know what I mean? I just thought it was kind of bad. I really didn't understand why people were listening to it at all. It's just not an enjoyable song. It's incredibly boring. especially as someone who doesn't like drill that much. I didn't have a single bone in my body that cared. I just saw this like thing happening in front of me where everyone was listening to the song and I couldn't understand why for the life of me. It just didn't make any sense. But I wasn't ready to write off IceSpice because only from Munch, she only got better for like 3 months maybe. From the Munch era, where I was relatively disinterested, you move over to the Pink Panthress era. I'd call it like the Pink Panthress / Deli era because Boys a Liar dropped and Deli came, I think, soon after. Both of those songs were great. I really like Deli. I'm a big fan of the song Deli. And the Pink Panther song, to be quite honest, I knew it at the time, but even in retrospect, you can really tell that Pink Panther's vocals really carry that song, and IceSpice is just kind of like the filler. It's like if that song was a burrito, IceSpice is the rice, and Pink Panther's is the meat kind of thing, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, they collaborated on a song together that Pink Panther's wrote originally, but even at that, I thought the song was fun to listen to. That rocked my playlist for a little bit. Deli rocked my playlist for a little bit. I was starting to turn my opinion around on IceSpice after Munch, which was her only song, essentially, at the time. But those two songs were actually fun to listen to. I had a good time listening to them. But IceSpice would very soon get into controversy, very shortly after those videos dropped, because she let a 16-year-old attend the Deli shooting. The Deli shooting, that sounds like a crime. I mean like the Deli film, when they filmed it. No one shot up a deli. With the context that I know, I think IceSpice was well aware that this person was underage as they followed each other on Instagram and shit. Yeah, the overall is just kind of weird. You shouldn't let a child in a music video where people are throwing so much ass, you know what I mean? That's just not acceptable. But at the time, she was getting a lot of heat for it. And because I was listening to Deli and Pink Panthress' song so much, I think I was willing to write it off as like a negligence kind of thing. Like maybe she wasn't really paying attention, like who really checks someone's Instagram bio, like, you know what I mean? Maybe she just snuck onto the set. I was willing to write it off as something that was like unintentional and accidental. I wasn't really too hard on IceSpice at that time. So I'd say around Deli era was like the peak of my IceSpice fandom. I would consider myself a person who maybe not super enjoys her music, but someone who's excited to see where she's gonna go from here. And I'm gonna be real, since Deli, it has been a sharp decline in quality and talent and just everything. In personality mostly, it's just, it's only been more disappointing. Right after the Deli era, I think IceSpice starts touring for the first time. And people were really hard on her on Twitter, which was interesting. She's obviously like a very new artist that only has a very limited pool of songs to work with and a very short discography. So during her live performance, her like first round of live performance eras, people were really hard on her just because she had absolutely no stage presence. People said unless she was twerking, she really didn't know what to do with herself. She would just kind of walk around the stage and just look at stuff. She didn't really know how to be an entertainer on stage, which honestly I'd argue is probably one of the easier parts about being a rapper or a song artist of any kind. Making a song seems incredibly difficult, especially a good one that people actually want to listen to. That seems like a real talent to me. But once you actually have the song written, I don't think it's that difficult to have the song playing in the background as you run around and jump on stage. It seems really easy once you have an audience of people that already paid to come see you and already like you. It seems relatively easy to me to get them excited about something, you know? But IceSpice really just kind of looked lost on stage. She had almost no stage presence at all. She just seemed like a not very entertaining person. I don't want to shit talk stage presence as like a talent, but to be honest, I'm gonna show you a video of Lil Yachty just kind of running around and jumping, and that seems to be one of the most hyped performances of the last 5 years, at least online, the way people perceive it. And all he did was do a couple spins and jump. There you go. That's all you gotta do. I can show you a video of Joe Biden doing the exact same thing. Once you can actually make a song, it seems pretty easy to get a crowd riled up. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So IceSpice was getting a lot of shit online just because people were really starting to feel like she was sitting on a shaky tower. I feel like a little bit of the trust was lost with IceSpice as a performer after she started live touring, which is understandable because she really just did not have any energy at all in any of her performances. But at the time, from my perspective, I thought people were being really hard on her. I thought that she was a new up-and-coming artist and maybe she's just not very equipped to do a performance like that. Maybe she's just not a hype woman. You know what I mean? Maybe it's just as simple as that. Even though, like, I'd argue that's probably the easiest job you get as an artist, just to show up and fucking perform. But the live performance era is pretty rough to watch. As of someone who considered themselves a fan at the time, It's just kind of disappointing to watch IceSpice kind of embarrass herself when she doesn't really seemingly know what's happening at her own performance. The energy was just never there. But I was willing to write that off. I really was, because I don't go to IceSpice tours. I'm not gonna be there in the crowd. And I'm not gonna be hard on her if she's a new girl on the block and she really doesn't know what to do with herself in that kind of performance. I just don't care. But shortly thereafter, IceSpice will start releasing more music. She released her album, I don't remember what it's called. I think it's called Like. And I'm gonna be real, Like has the worst album art of anything I've ever seen. It just looks gross. I don't know why they made her look like an insect for no reason. Like, why did you do that? They gave her like bug eyes. Like, I don't really understand the like artistic vision there with the album. But I'll be real, Like was kind of, it's kind of wishy-washy, because the problem with that album too is that half the songs that were on that album were songs that have already been released as singles. So it really felt like something that was more thrown together because she felt like she needed to have an album rather than like an actual project that she set time aside for and worked on dedicatedly. Starting there, I think that's when my feelings for IceSpice got a little mixed. That song with Lil TJ is horrible. I hate, that's gotta be like a top 10 least favorite songs all time for me. I just think it's so just atrocious. I'm gonna listen to it right now so I don't feel like I'm faking the funk. But I genuinely remember hating that song. Okay, yeah, that was the thing. The SpongeBob instrumental sucks. Don't do that. It's bad. Just don't do that. It's literally, it just sounds horrible. To me, at least. Again, I'm talking from my perspective for most of this video. But that shit sucked. It was really difficult to listen to. Especially Lil TJ, who isn't good. I really do not like them either. Just the whole thing. Just kind of ass. Shortly thereafter though, after Like dropped, you get this this kind of like new gen, like maybe late 2023, early 2024 IceSpice, and songs like Fat Butt come out. Now, I'm gonna be real. Fat Butt was my breaking point. I listened to Fat Butt and I told all my friends I've lost faith in IceSpice after that song. I was done. And that's not even to talk about any of the controversies that she got herself entrenched in at that time. I remember around that time, there were screenshots floating around about her shit-talking Nicki. And I'm gonna be real, I do not like Nicki Minaj. I think she's weird and gross. I think she married a man who's an actual pedophile, and that's disgusting. That's my perspective on Nicki Minaj, if anyone cares. I do not care about her as an artist. If you're gonna be a fucking weird person, I'm not gonna listen to your music, that kind of thing. But from my perspective at least, shit-talking someone like Nicki Minaj when you're IceSpice, the new kid on the block, is just kind of just like disrespectful and kind of ignorant. I don't know, it's just very not self-aware, to be honest. My qualms with it is that Nicki and IceSpice, of course, worked together on Barbie for the Barbie movie soundtrack. And if you look in the screenshots of her talking to one of her ex-best friends, I guess, she's really acting like she gave Nicki that kind of opportunity to work with her. And even if that's true, you need to realize that you are younger and have like 6 songs in your discography. And Nicki Minaj is a titan of the game. And the fact that IceSpice got a song for Barbie is great for her. But at the end of the day, most of the people that are gonna come in and listen to that song are there for Nicki. They genuinely do not care about you. I just think it's kind of scoundrelish, maybe, to just really just not be considerate of the people that are propping you up and taking you along on their journey and helping you as an artist grow. Because I'm very confident that collab with Nicki did wonders for her, you know, numbers. I can't imagine. A collaboration like that would just be amazing for me, even though I wouldn't do it because I think she's gross. But it's just very unappreciative and kind of bratish, I'd say. It's just kind of it's not a good energy to sell yourself when you're just shit-talking the people you're directly working with. Even if I don't like Nicki, it's just kind of it's just very bratty and like unself-aware. That's the way I describe it for sure. It's like she's entirely unaware that Nicki has like 10 times the brand that she does and also 10 times the talent. Nicki is an actual artist. IceSpice showed up like a week ago. I just can't believe that she would even feel the need to talk shit about somebody who almost made their career in a certain way. There's just no need to. I feel like that was like the first taste of IceSpice's actual personality, especially because she doesn't have any sort of personality on stage, but that's like the first glimpse that the audience got of IceSpice, to be honest. That's like the first like time we got to see IceSpice for maybe the person that she really is, just like an unappreciative kind of like brat character. And then you get to something that I noticed that was fucking, I just thought it was fucked up. I saw one day opening Twitter I noticed IceSpice had tweeted. I was very curious. And like, I wonder what's going on with ISIS right now. By the way, isn't it crazy that her name's ISIS? Why would you name a child that? I know it was like, her name came before the terrorist organization, but if my kid is like a 2-year-old named ISIS and ISIS is beheading people, I'm changing my kid's name. I'm not letting her rock with that for the rest of her life. Anyways, side point. This is something that really stoked the IceSpice maybe distaste in my heart. I remember going on Twitter one day and she just blatantly called one of her fans fat for no reason. I think one of her fans was giving her genuine criticism. And by the way, if you're a famous person, you don't respond to people. I think that's like day one of being famous. You don't respond to people or critics or anything. You just don't interact. You don't engage with random people, right? Because you don't want to send like a tidal wave of your audience just shitting on this one random person. A random woman just commented on how her performance was maybe lacking or something along the lines of that. And then IceSpice quote tweeted a picture of her and said, "This is you." Essentially just fat shaming this person because, I hate to say it, they're a little bit overweight. There you go. I feel like that's like a day one thing on the internet where it's like if you call someone fat for having an opinion, you just kind of lose. Calling someone fat doesn't really mean anything or do anything to anybody. I'm pretty sure fat people are well aware that they're overweight. And especially as someone who's lost a significant amount of weight in my life, like it's just such a stupid low blow that just doesn't even make any sense to me. I don't know why like anyone's opinion is more or less valid because of how much they weigh. It really just doesn't matter. It's just, it's also kind of silly as a famous person to be shitting on one of your fans at all. And even at that, shitting on someone who's giving you genuine like criticism. And even at that, calling them fat for no reason and comparing your body to theirs, you know, it just doesn't make any sense, especially as someone who's like extremely conventionally attractive right now. Like if you're in a position where you are just like almost known for being attractive and that's it, the fact that you're just ragging on one of your fans for being unattractive is just kind of shitty to me. Honestly, it's just it's pretty fucking stupid. Because I know, like, in my heart of hearts, after following IceSpice for so long, that she seems like kind of a scummy person. So yeah, I just like when I saw IceSpice call one of her fans fat for no reason, that was just kind of the end for me. That was kind of it. After that, I really stopped trying to imagine her as an artist who's trying to grow and learn. I feel like she's really just soaking up the 10 minutes of fame that she has and she's just kind of moving on with it. It really doesn't feel like she really cares about being like a good rapper or having good stage presence or almost anything. It really just feels like she's just riding out being called hot over and over again and just keeping it rolling. It really doesn't matter how good her songs are. Especially because I will say one thing about IceSpice's actual music that I really don't like. I hate potty humor in rap songs. I think it's just so fucking stupid. You know Drowning by Kodak Black and Boogie with the Hoodie? There you go. And that song, it's a really good song, but Kodak Black says, "I'm the shit, I'm farting." Horrible line. That's horrible. That's so bad. It's just like, I just hate it when they talk about shitting or farting or just like shit like that in rap. I just think it kind of ruins the mystique of it. It ruins the steez. The steez is absolutely gone once you start talking about shitting. And IceSpice seems to do this in almost every one of her songs.
I'm the shit, I'm that bitch, I'm his poopy. Juice in my cup got me feeling real loopy. Thoughty, no, he can't hit, but he might give me mozzie. Shitting on bitches, no potty. Think you the shit, bitch? You not even the fuck. That man calling me baby. I'm his poopy like I need a diaper.
Every one of her songs has like a bar about her having a big butt like a diaper, or she poops her diaper so her boyfriend has to change it, or she has a big stinky poopy diaper. Something like that. It's just really gross and not enjoyable to listen to. She made a song called "Shit, You Think I'm the Fart." There you go. Now, I'm not a girl. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know if you guys could tell. When I was actually a child, people thought I was a woman. So I'm not like entirely informed on this maybe, but I had my girlfriend explain it to me last night. So I think I have a decent head wrapped around it. There was a model who I'm not aware of because I don't care, but there was a model who was dating rapper Central C, who's also a rapper that I don't care about. Their music's probably bad, so I'm not gonna listen to them. Yeah, he's a white tattoo rapper. All right, awesome. Apparently IceSpice was collaborating with Central C a lot, and they were doing a lot of public photo shoots together, IceSpice and Central C. And it was very visible that Central C was grabbing some IceSpice butt. He was grabbing onto some IceSpice butt at the time. You know what I mean? Just being very forward and front with her while he was dating somebody else. And that's not cool. It's not directly IceSpice's maybe fault, because honestly, I think in cheating, the person that's to blame is the person that did the cheating and not the person that's uninvolved in the relationship that happened to, you know, have sex with that person, that kind of thing. I don't know, you understand what I mean. But really, I think the cheater is almost always at fault, and a lot of the times the homewrecker of sorts gets blamed, even though I don't really think that's even their place to begin with. You know, why should they care? That kind of thing. So I wouldn't be totally against, you know, IceSpice in the situation. Like if Central C wants to hop ship, he's more than welcome to. This is, you know, he can do whatever he wants to, I guess. But my problem comes in when she absolutely just talks about it in every single one of her modern songs now, about how she's stealing someone's man or, you know, something along those lines. And it comes up relatively frequently. And it's just kind of shitty. It's just because it makes it feel like she's being a bad bitch for doing something that's objectively kind of gross and weird. Like you shouldn't be flirtatious with someone else's partner. Even though that I do think, you know, maybe she's not to blame if Central C really just had more interest in her than his current relationship. But if you're gonna like talk about it all the time and rub it in somebody's face over songs that get millions of views, it's just kind of shitty. So it just like, I don't know. And it's like she's trying to be a girl boss about it, but it's not like a girl boss move to steal someone's man. That's not girl for girl. You know what I mean? That's not a girl's girl. That's a fucking asshole. It's not even like there's any sort of sympathy in it too. She like very frequently will talk about Latto and how much she hates her for almost no reason. I think the IceSpice and Latto beef actually started when alright, I explained this shit so poorly in my original video, I had to come back from the future to come talk to y'all about it. But this feud started between Latto, Nicki, and IceSpice when Nicki was upset at Latto because Big Energy charted so long and was nominated for a Grammy that she wasn't. And she spoke about it publicly. And Latto tried to settle the beef privately, but then would later tweet in defense of herself that Big Energy was #1 on the charts for a long time or some shit, or it was the highest charting song of 2022 by a female rapper. And then IceSpice takes to Instagram and she posts a story as some woman on TikTok saying that she doesn't like it when the new girlies come after the older girlies.
I don't like when the young girlies come for the old girlies. I don't like that. What the What is wrong with y'all? Have some respect for your elders.
Someone should tell her that the old girlies are dating a pedophile. Someone should let that woman know. Anyways, that's the beef. You're welcome. And also, Latto is 10 times the rapper that both of them will ever be. She doesn't have to do like a weird cute voice or fucking talk about her big poopy diaper to actually make a good song. Like, I think Latto's a great artist. Also, bro, it's pretty fucking comical that IceSpice will go after Latto for not having any identity, as one of her tweets claimed. Even though Latto has like 10 times the identity IceSpice has, IceSpice is literally only known for her ass. You can clearly tell on her stage performances. If she's not twerking, she literally doesn't know what to do with herself. It's pretty rough. The girl has no personality. I'm sorry, but Jesus Christ. Again, this is coming from somebody who wanted to like IceSpice for a long time. I was willing to see the artistic integrity evolve and her blossom as an artist, but just one thing after another, whether it's calling a fan fad or coming after, you know, people that made you, or coming after people who are very credible in the rap scene and actually have talent. Just like the whole thing is really messy and just kind of annoying. You know, stealing somebody's man and then, you know, fucking ragging on them for months on end. It's just, none of it's like acceptable or like, you know, fun. All of it's just kind of ass. Of course, it's IceSpice, it's kind of ass. The whole thing is just so shitty. I just got so tired of IceSpice so quickly after she's just been so messy. And honestly, like, I feel like a big kicker for her is that why her music really isn't getting much attention anymore. I think Y2K flopped. I'm gonna be real. I think that album did horrible. But like, if you're going to make music primarily targeted at women, why are you going after the people that a lot of women are listening to? And there's absolutely no reason to. She's just not a girl's girl. And it has an audience that is almost strictly women and gay men. So it's just like, at the end of the day, I think people, I mean, at least me, I've lost respect for IceSpice so quickly. It's been a very steep decline ever since Deli. It's been one thing after the another with her, and the more cracks I see in her facade, and the more she shows of her actual personality, it's just kind of gross. Maybe not gross, but she just seems like kind of a bad person. I'm gonna be real. She just seems like just unappreciative, mean, full of herself mostly, and that's just kind of the energy that she gives off. And especially when she doesn't have almost any good art or any sort of personality, it kind of a wash for me. It's interesting how, and also most of IceSpice's good songs, that she has to get carried by her feature. Like, if you think about her main hits is Barbie World and Boy's a Liar, which are both songs that I'd rather listen to Nicki and Pink Panthress on rather than her. I think she is definitely like kind of dragged along in both of those songs. It's just brutal to be an ex-IceSpice fan, I will say. And I'll bring it back to the premise of this video. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but I feel like with successful women in almost any field, a lot of people just feel the need to kind of rag on them. Like, people don't like successful women, which is really shitty. It just, it's real disappointing. It's just like, if you're a woman who is popular in any sort of niche, you're going to get more shit than any man, and that's just a fact of the matter. So I really hated it when people at first were really ragging on IceSpice for not having any talent, that kind of thing. But over time, I think IceSpice has shown her true colors, whether it's artistically or as a personality, and either way, it's been horrible. I'm not interested in her art. I'm not interested in what she has to say about anything. She's like fucking usually mean or wrong about most things. So at the end of the day, I'm a fallen IceSpice fan. I am done. I can't do any more poopy diaper bars. I can't do any more Homewrecking. I can't do any more fucking talking shit about goats. Like, none of that shit. I can't do it anymore, man. And again, I'm a person who really wanted to like her. I wanted to see her blossom, but she hasn't. She's just kind of shown that she's kind of an asshole. And that's where I stand with IceSpice right now. This is my IceSpice video essay. Hopefully I articulated myself well enough, especially because I had to do a little bit of research to really catch myself up on this topic. I'm a big IceSpice fan. I've been following her entire story. I was a big IceSpice fan. But I've been following her since day one, it feels like, at least when Munch dropped. So, you know, I feel like I have a decent perspective on IceSpice. Let me know what you think though. Is IceSpice actually good? I don't think so. You can't convince me otherwise. If you guys need good rappers to listen to who are women, I'd say Sexy Red is great. Tia Kareen's amazing. Let's look. Oh, Rico Nasty. I feel like not a lot of people are talking about her anymore, but back in the day, I used to bump some Rico very often. Oh, Glorilla, bro. I love Glorilla. Check out some Glorilla, bro. That's great. She has a very unique voice and a very good energy. We love Glorilla over here at Donkey Dark. This video wasn't very funny. I'm gonna point that out. I like making videos that are like kind of show my personality more, but this is just something I've been sitting on for so long. I felt the need to talk about it. If you want to watch a real Donkey Dark, check out my Matt Stoney video or the Bong Water video. Both of those were, I think I watch them back sometimes. I genuinely think they're funny. I think they're good videos. But that's my IceSpice opinions. That's how I honestly feel about her. I just can't stand her anymore, man. I just can't do it. Yeah, anyways, premise of the video, y'all should listen to some Latto. DonkENation.
How can I lose if I'm already choked?